The insurance for a good relationship is communication. I'm less interested in protecting what's mine via contract, and I'm more interested in, I mean, if Chris feels taken care of, he's probably going to take care of me too, and vice versa. So it's like, for us, if he dies, I'm going to take care of his family, and he knows that. So there's not a lot, he's going to take care of my family. There's not a lot of like, let's wrestle over contracts.
You're listening to the Traffic and Funnels Show.
Who else has questions? It might be smaller on asset protection, protecting your business. You. Who asked the question about wealth, the process for wealth? Who has questions on this, the process for building long-term wealth? Another question. Raise your hand if you want to be a one-hit wonder. Oh. Okay, so when I'm like, who has questions about long-term wealth, it should be the opposite of that question. So how many people raise their hand on one-hit wonder? 0? Oh, that means the whole room should put their hand in the air when we talk about long-term wealth. Make sense? Who wants to be rich for 6 months, then broke? Raise your hands. Chris Robinette in the back wants that. Now, who wants to be old and wealthy and pass that down to their kids' kids, not have to worry about money? Yeah, okay. So we've gotten into this world, and we've got a lot of great partners that help us with this. So I'm just going to hit your question real fast, and then we can talk about the wealth process together. You can throw up that slide real fast. But we have things situated right now in 3 different buckets. If you are under 50-ish K a month, I would say, just don't worry about this. Just hang tight. Just build your revenue. If you're over 50 a month, you're at a place where you can start thinking about this in terms of like, how do I protect myself? So the way me and Chris do it, sorry I don't have your name up there. This is mine. But I'll give you an extra % of the businesses later. So we have 3 different trusts. Actually, Chris, raise your hand, Robinette. Everybody look in the back of the room at this man right here. This is Mr. Robinette. And he helps me and Chris with a lot of this stuff. He will sell you anything, so be careful when you talk to him. He's got hockey tickets for sale right now. He's a brilliant mind though, and he's helped us set all of this up. So when you're ready for that, you can chat with him because he's a wealth of information. So we have 3 trusts, me and Chris. Chris doesn't want me to share this. It's too valuable, but I'm going to give it to you. And then our businesses go in one trust, Ralph. Our real estate goes in a different one for personal. And everything legacy-wise, it goes in a third one. It's an insurance trust. So that trust is going to protect it from estate tax and other stuff, and Chris knows and I don't. We just did it. Any questions about this for you?
Hold on a second.
Sorry.
With the legacy trust, the insurance, you're talking about the whole life infinity banking policies? Is that
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't do the IB. We just do 10, 15, 20 pay, whole life. Yeah. Which that's all of that is the beneficiary of that is the trust, right, Chris? Yeah. Any other questions? Rudy, this is your cardio for the day?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, can you explain as you build up your real estate and then you're paying down your debt,
Yeah.
then how you're taking that and using it to pay it, keep playing the game forward? Can you just kind of go through an example of like, how you're...
In terms of asset protection or in terms of LTV?
But yeah, I was thinking that question is more the LTV kind of side.
Yeah.
But yeah. And my second question, just before he runs away, is on asset protection. How do you, and this, I don't want to stir the pot here, but how do you protect yourself from your business partner? And I'm asking from my story, which you know.
It's a great question.
Okay. I'm not trying. I know you guys have a great relationship, but
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So
Just kidding.
You get what I'm getting at, like how if there's a day when things change or whatever, how do you set that up now? Because I'm at a point where I don't want to have a business.
All right, too many
anymore.
questions. This is a pause for me because I'm forgetting the first question now. So you're gonna have to tie that back in a sec.
The first one was just how are you playing it off of real estate using life insurance to pay down debt?
We're not yet. We're not yet because our policies are not fully funded because they're big, like really big.
Right.
So it's going to take us a while to fund them.
Okay.
Like probably 10 years. 10 on the last one, 10 to 15. Whole life.
Oh, right.
And then the way that we do the real estate is Lance in here? Did he leave? I think we're probably at 70 to 75% LTV across the board on everything. So we're not like super leveraged. We're not maxing stuff out, you know. And then the way that we protect the real estate is you can see LLCs underneath the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So we'll have a LLC in a market, and then we'll have a subsidiary attached to that LLC. So we have blocks of houses. So this LLC has 20 houses in it. This one's in Kansas City. It has 20, and there's 7 of them in Kansas City. So they're separated by portfolio value and by market.
So they're siloed out from.
They're siloed out, yeah. Gotcha. But it's a lot of money to set that up, and the only reason we're doing it is because we have a lot of money. And it just made sense. So you got to spend it. Your other question about protecting from a business partner, I think it's probably more likely that's like at one point, like, you know, we wake up and Chris is like, I just want to take a break or something. We don't really, the insurance for a good relationship is communication, not necessarily contracts. Now, Chris Robinette would probably disagree with me on this because he loves to talk. But I don't know that me and Chris have the same philosophy about business partnership that most people do. I'm less interested in protecting what's mine via contract, and I'm more interested in, I mean, if Chris feels taken care of, he's probably going to take care of me too, and vice versa. So it's like, for us, if he dies, I'm going to take care of his family, and he knows that. So there's not a lot, he's going to take care of my family. There's not a lot of like, let's wrestle over contracts. Does that make sense? What we do have, though, is like, let's say Chris wakes up one day and he's like, man, Liberty's married. It's his oldest. Liberty's married. She's got, you know, they have 2 grandkids. We're getting way out there now. I just don't want to work anymore. I think I'm at that place where I want to retire. You know? Okay, well, let me buy the business from you. You know? Or vice versa. Like Kate's a teenager and I'm just like breaking down and I can't handle it anymore. So we have buy-sell policies in the business that we could trigger or transfer to aid us in buying that out. So let's say Chris has a $40 million whole life policy that's attached to Evans and Welch, and it's fully funded. Well, that's a lot of money. So at that point, we can just assign him that whole life policy, and I don't have to come up with any cash. Make sense? When we take equity partners, we set this all up for and with them. It's too much to get into teaching it. You understand it because you owned mobile homes and you know, you're a slumlord like us, you know what I'm saying? But for a lot of people it's like overwhelming, like what do I do, when do I do it? So that's a perk of like, you know, we have equity partners in the room that's like we're setting these policies up with them and it's a pretty good gig. Yeah. So sell us your business, we'll be all good. Is it less than you want to say? Hey, what's our LTV on the holdings overall?
About 72% overall.
I nailed it. I said 70, 75. 71 is in between 70 and 75. Thanks. Sounds good. This is helpful. Any other questions on this?
Let me ask you a question. For everybody here, when's a good time, or what level of their business is a good time for them to start looking at this type of thing, to start putting it in place?
Chris?
I think it's, especially in America, we're not educated financially. So I think it's really valuable to start learning about this stuff ASAP. not necessarily trust, but just understanding money and cash, right? And that gives you a good foundation on what to do with the money when you start actually creating it. So also understanding your season that you're in. Are you in a season where you are becoming good at creating cash flow, right? I think that's fairly easy to do, simple, especially in today's world. The difficult thing, where very few people understand, is how to keep that cash, right? And then how to make it more productive for you, again, without a lot of energy and effort. So some of the books that I've enjoyed are Kiyosaki books.
So good.
Cash Flow Quadrant. He's got great podcast stuff.
Yep.
Does anyone know what this slide comes from? What training this is from?
The wealth one, right?
Sorry, what?
Was it the wealth one you did back a few months back?
Yep, over the summer. Yep. Raise your hand if you've seen that. Oh, dude, could I just get a black coffee? Thanks, bro. Raise your hand if you've seen that. I mean, mega. Go find that. It's in the portal, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's in the portal.
It's in there.
Did you enjoy that training?
Yeah, it was good.
It's pretty much what Chris is talking about, like reframing how you believe money works,
That's
how to
important.
buy things. Like Chris doesn't pay for anything. Y'all should see his houses, and he just doesn't pay for them. How? It's in the wealth training. You got to go watch it, the whole thing. Then post about it on Facebook so I get tagged. Thanks.
What is the name of that again? Wealth training?
I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Rudy, do you?
It's the wealth bundle.
No. Assets and net worth. Bingo.
Was that Devin?
That was Devin. It's in the. She probably uses it all the time to sell houses. Yeah. It's in the Kajabi portal.